Hello and welcome to the Alpha Edge Podcast, the show for men over 50 who refuse to fade out, slow down, play small, or settle for average. I'm your host, Kevin English. I'm a healthy aging expert, coach, and founder of the Alpha Edge, and I am here to help you get and stay strong in every dimension of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. You're here because you're ready to reclaim your power, to own your masculinity, and lead your life with strength and purpose. If you're ready to sharpen your edge, revive your drive, and lead like a man who's built for more, you're in the right place. All right, men, let's get after it. All right, guys, here we go. Let's talk about nutrition. So for those of you that don't know, my day job is I am a nutrition coach. I'm a personal trainer. I own a company called The Silver Edge, where we only work with men and women in their 50s and 60s, or not only, but primarily work with men and women in their 50s and 60s doing nutrition, exercise, lifestyle coaching. So I am passionate about nutrition, and I just think that so many of us get this wrong and we way overcomplicate it. So let's start here. Most of us are strong in the boardroom. We're strong behind the wheel. We're strong in our words. And yet when it comes to food, we're weak. We're distracted. We're soft. Think about it. For thousands of years, men hunted, they harvested, they butchered and cooked the food that fueled their bodies and their families. Food was sacred. It was survival. It was strength. But today, most guys don't even know where their food comes from. Most of us don't farm. We don't hunt. We don't even cook that much anymore. We stop by the store. We grab something in a colorful box. Maybe we heat it up in the microwave and we call it dinner. Look, let's be honest. A lot of what passes for food in our kitchen isn't food at all. It's ultra-processed, chemical-engineered garbage designed to make us addicted, fat, and weak. And here's the real tragedy. When you eat like that, you're not just filling your stomach. You're filling your body and your soul and your mind with junk. Food isn't neutral. It's not just fuel. Through the miracle of your metabolism, food literally becomes you. Every bite is transformed into your flesh, your blood, your energy, your hormones. It's your essence. It's your life force. That means that every time you sit down to eat, you're not just making a choice about taste or convenience. You're making a choice about who you are becoming as a man. And guys, hear this. You have a sacred responsibility to fuel your body with strength. Not just for you, though you deserve to be strong and vital, but for your wife, for your kids, for your brothers, for your community. They need you at your best. They need you to show up strong, capable, energized, and alive. Because I'm sure you've heard this before, but you cannot out-train a bad diet. You cannot build an alpha body or an alpha life on junk food. Strength begins in the kitchen. What you eat is the foundation of your power, your vitality, and your legacy. So let's zoom out for a second here and let's ask the question, why should men even care about this? Because here's the deal. Food isn't just fuel. It's not just calories in, calories out. It's way more profound than that. Remember that through the absolute miracle of our metabolism, food literally is becoming us. Every bite we eat gets broken down, it gets absorbed and rebuilt into your muscles, your bones, your hormones, your energy, even your mood. You are quite literally what you eat. Now, if that makes you picture yourself as a human Dorito when you're pounding chips on the couch, good. That's the point. But it's bigger than you. As men, we have a sacred responsibility to fuel our bodies for strength and vitality. Why? Well, because our wives, our kids, our brothers, our communities, they need us at our best. They need us to be strong and present, not checked out, capable, not couch-bound. And here's where I'm going to poke you a little bit. If you're showing up in life tired, bloated, achy, or constantly too wiped out to engage, guess what? That's not just bad luck. That's the foods you're eating or not eating stacking the deck against you. A lot of us guys like to imagine being strong and masculine is all about what happens when we're under the barbell. But the truth is this, you can't out-train that bad diet. period. Strength doesn't start with your squat rack. It starts with your fork in your kitchen. So if you want to be an alpha man, if you want to be vital, capable, strong, dangerous in the best way, it's not optional. You got to care about what you're putting in your body, because every meal is either pushing you towards strength or it's pulling you into weakness. But I'm going to be the first to admit nutrition advice is a mess. One guy says, hey, go keto and never touch a carb again. Another swears by intermittent fasting. Just don't eat until noon and you'll magically lose the fat. Then you've got the plant-based zealots, the carnivore bros, the low-fat, low-carb, the high-carb, high-fat, the eat 6 meals a day and the only eat 1 meal a day. And of course, all the influencers on TikTok telling you to survive on lemon water and good vibes. It is an ocean of noise out there. And if you're confused, that's not your fault. It's by design. Diet culture is a billion-dollar industry that profits when you stay lost, frustrated, and stuck on the hamster wheel. But here's the truth. The basics of nutrition are not that complicated. The human body hasn't really changed in tens of thousands of years. What has changed is the food industry and the marketing machine behind it. So what I want to do here is really simplify this. I want to strip this down to something so clear and actionable you could explain it to your 12-year-old grandson. And this is where the Silver Edge Nutrition Pyramid comes in. This pyramid is your roadmap out of madness. It's not trendy, it's not sexy, but it's simple, it's proven, and it works. And here's the beauty. It's not about rules that make you miserable. It's not about constant restriction. It's about principles that make you strong. So before we get sucked into the latest fad or YouTube diet guru, let's anchor ourselves in what really matters in the right order of importance. And when you see it laid out, you're going to realize most of the nonsense we've been sold is not even on that list. So here's the good news. You're not going to need a PhD in nutrition or a stack of diet books to figure this out. You just need a clear framework, something simple enough to remember, but power enough to guide every food decision you make. And that's exactly what the Silver Edge Nutrition Pyramid does. You can think of this like a man's blueprint for eating. No gimmicks, no goofy rules, just a solid hierarchy of what actually matters. Now, once you guys see this, you're going to realize why most guys stay frustrated. They're obsessing over the least important stuff while completely ignoring the foundation. It's like worrying about what color to paint the shutters when the house doesn't even have a foundation poured yet. So let's pour that foundation. Let's climb this pyramid one level at a time and finally cut through the noise. All right, guys, let's start with the foundation, the base of the pyramid. Now, those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a graphic here, but just bear with me. I want you to imagine a pyramid, and it's divided into 4 horizontal sections, right? So we got the base, we got the next level up, that's a little bit smaller. You got the next level up, that's a little bit smaller. And then we just have the tip of the pyramid, that little triangle at the top, right? So the single most important thing we can do as a man to get leaner, to get stronger, to get healthier is this: clean up what you eat. So that's the base of this pyramid that everything else is going to be built on. We're not going straight to how much we eat. We're going to start with what we eat. This one move alone is more powerful than any diet gimmick, any macro calculator out there, or any supplement stack you're going to find advertised on Instagram or Facebook. But here's the truth. Most of us today are eating more ultra-processed, chemically engineered food-like products than actual food. In fact, over 70% of the average American diet now comes from boxes, bags, drive-thru windows. And guess what? That's why most men look like they're built from boxes, bags, and drive-thru windows. Ultra-processed junk isn't just empty calories. It's actively designed, literally engineered in labs to cause you to overeat. Scientists call it hyperpalatable. Translation, it lights up your brain like a frickin' slot machine and keeps you coming back for more. That's why you can crush an entire bag of chips without blinking an eye, but you'd struggle to eat the same amount of plain potatoes those chips came from. So here's the upgrade. Start eating like a man who gives a damn. Base your diet on real whole foods. Think lean cuts of meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, the stuff that actually roamed, swam, grew, or sprouted. And within that, here's a big lever for guys like us: prioritize protein. Most men over 50 are eating half or maybe even less of the protein they actually need. Remember that protein is the building block of muscle, the shield against aging, and the most satiating, satisfying nutrient you can put in your body. It keeps you fuller, longer, and it fuels the muscle you're working so hard to build in the gym. So start here before you worry about counting calories, before you stress over carbs or meal timing. Just clean up the quality of the foods you eat and make sure every meal has a solid protein anchor. Do that consistently and you're already winning the hardest part of the battle. All right, so before we move north in our pyramid here, before we go up the stack to the next most important thing, let's talk about a few real-world food swaps, what this might look like for guys who want to eat like a man. So for breakfast, those of you guys out there that are eating cereal and toast and orange juice, scrap that. Replace it for 3 or 4 scrambled eggs. Maybe have some Greek yogurt with berries in there. For snacks, if you're eating a bag of chips, which are engineered to make you crush the whole bag, swap that out for a handful of nuts and maybe some beef jerky. That way you're going to get some satiating protein and some healthy fats in there. For lunch, those of you that are driving through getting that fast food burger with some fries and some soda, come on, man, you're not a kid. Swap that out. Let's go for grilled chicken breast or grilled steak. Let's get some potatoes in there and a big side of veggies. If you're eating out at lunch, I really like ordering a salad with double protein on there. All right, for dinner, man, come on, that frozen pizza or takeout just ain't cutting it. Let's go with lean steak. Put a baked sweet potato on there and maybe some sauteed asparagus. We got all that nutrient density in there, and that's just a manly meal right there. For dessert, let's scrap the ice cream tub in front of Netflix. That ain't serving your cause. Come on, guys. Swap that out for one of my favorites is cottage cheese. I'll put a little cinnamon on there and throw in some frozen blueberries, mix it together. Absolutely delicious. And then guys, if you're drinking sugary sodas or energy drinks, get rid of that. Let's go with some water. If you want to get fancy, make it sparkling water and throw a little lime or lemon or orange in there to keep it interesting. So there you go. There's a day of swaps for you for what we eat. All right, so now we've laid that foundation of what we eat. And literally, guys, I'm telling you, that's half the battle. Let's climb up to the next level of the pyramid, the second most important thing. And most of you guys are probably thinking, well, that's got to be how much you eat. We're not there yet. It's how you eat. Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. You're like, Kev, how I eat? Who cares? I eat my mouth. I chew with my mouth. That's dumb. What's up? But listen up, because this one is sneaky. The way you eat can be the difference between you fueling your body like a man or just slowly sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. Here's the reality. Most of us eat like wolves. We're standing at the counter, we're scrolling Instagram, or we're driving in the car, we're sitting at our desk, and we are just shoveling it in as fast as possible. We don't chew, we don't taste, and half the time, we barely even remember the meal we just inhaled. And when you eat like that, 3 bad things happen. Number 1, you overeat. Your brain takes about 15 plus minutes to register fullness. If you're wolfing your food like a maniac, you've blown right past that signal. Number 2, you digest worse. Look, your digestion process starts while you're chewing. You skip that step and you're not absorbing nutrients as well. Translation, you're working hard in the gym, but not giving your body the building blocks it really needs. Number 3, you miss the sacred part of eating. Food is more than just fuel. It's connection, it's gratitude, it's presence. When we wolf it down while staring at our phone, we get robbed of that sacred part of eating. So what's the upgrade? I want you to eat like a man with intention. I want you to sit down for your meals. Put the phone away. You don't need to scroll while you're eating. I want you to take a breath. I want you to bless the food. I want you to be grateful for it. I want you to chew slowly. I want you to actually taste your food, enjoy your food. And here's the kicker. When you guys slow down, you're almost always going to eat less without even trying, and you're going to feel more satisfied doing it. So yeah, how you eat matters, and it's not just the manners that grandma or mom drilled into you. It's a performance hack. It's a digestion hack, and honestly, a respect yourself hack. So here's a couple of tactics here to help you eat like a man with intention. Number 1, put the fork down between bites. I know it sounds silly, but it forces you to slow down. Try it. You're going to notice how fast you usually inhale food. Number 2, chew more. Aim for at least 10 to 15 chews per bite. Look, it's not a contest. It's giving your gut a head start to digest. Number 3, no screens at the meal. Your phone, your TV, your laptop, all of it's off limits. You don't need to eat in that distracted state. If you're eating, be present. Number 4, set a timer and do this as a challenge. If you usually blow through lunch in 5 minutes, stretch it to 15. See what happens to your hunger and your satisfaction. And then finally, number 5, and this is probably, I think, one of the most important things you can do, say thanks. Bless your food. This doesn't have to be fancy, just a quick thank you for this meal. I'm grateful for this meal. Bless this food to nourish and strengthen my body. Before we eat, when we bless our food and give gratitude, it kind of reframes eating as a sacred act and not just some rushed thing we have to get through. All right, so just recap the base of our pyramid. The most important thing we're going to do is clean up what we eat. The second most important thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up how we eat. So next up on the pyramid, we're climbing up in the next notch, and this is where most guys start. Most of us, because this is how diet culture has us programmed, we obsess over how much we're eating. Calories, points, macros, starving ourselves on some sad little meal plan we found online. And look, yes, calories matter. Energy balance is real. But here's the truth. It's not the most important thing. I don't care what your goals are, whether it's fat loss, muscle building, overall health, performance. It is not the most important piece of the puzzle. And when we focus only on eating less, we're probably setting ourselves up to fail. And here's why. First, a lot of us guys are already under eating, and we don't even know it. We slash calories too hard for too long, and then our metabolism downshifts. Your body thinks food is scarce, so it starts to cling to fat and happily burns through muscle tissue instead. And that's how you end up skinny fat. Smaller on the scale, but softer in the mirror. Second, if you haven't cleaned up what you're eating, the foundation, and how you're eating, on a second level there, then obsessing over calories is like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You're stressing over the wrong thing. So here's the principle. Eat enough to fuel your performance, but not so much that you're storing excess fat. Simple to say, really tough to dial in, I'll admit it, but way more effective than yo-yo dieting. And here's how you figure it out. Stop guessing. For 1 week, I want you to weigh, measure, and track everything you eat and drink. Use an app like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer, whatever app you like. Just weigh, measure, and log it all in. At the end of the week, divide your total calories by 7. Boom, that's your current maintenance calories. That number tells you where you are right now. From there, you can adjust up or down depending on your goal. But without that baseline, you're just flying blind. So bottom line, guys, don't fall for the trap of thinking that the only path to leanness is eating less food. That road leads to fatigue, muscle loss, and frustration. Instead, eat like a man who fuels his workouts and his work and his life while keeping body fat in check. And guys, here's just a few rules of thumb on how much you eat. I want you guys to think about protein first, every single meal. And the general rule is you're going to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight, so your goal body weight. So for example, if you are a 200-pound dude, but you wish you weighed 180 pounds, you want to shoot for 180 grams of protein every single day. I'm going to guess most of you listening out there aren't even close to that. Next up, guys, don't go low calorie. It's really hard because we're all different bio individuals, so it's tough to put a number. But if I was going to throw a stake in the ground, I'd say don't eat below 2,200 calories a day. Certainly not long term. If you're in a strategic fat loss cycle, that might be appropriate for you. But any of you guys out there that are on low calorie, meaning you're eating sub 2,000 calories, that ain't enough food for a man, right? That's red zone territory where muscle loss and metabolic slowdown really kick in. And again, guys, track for awareness. Weigh, measure, and log your food for at least a week to find your baseline maintenance calories and adjust only after you know what your numbers are. Then I want you guys to think about fuel for performance, not fat. Ask yourself, is this amount of food helping me perform better or just padding the waistline? If it's the latter, cut it out. And then finally, think about this. I want you to add before you subtract. Instead of just slashing calories, start by adding more protein and more whole foods. Most guys find they naturally eat less junk when they do this. All right, man. So that brings us to the very tip of the pyramid, the smallest slice, and the one that a lot of guys obsess over way too much, and that's when we eat. So thanks to intermittent fasting and fad diets and all of this stuff, this is where a lot of us love to obsess. We're looking for a hack. We're looking for a shortcut. You'll hear everything from extreme intermittent fasting, the OMAD, eat one meal a day, to intermittent fasting, eat only in the 6-hour window. Or then on the other side of that, no, you got to eat 8 small meals throughout the day strategically, or only eat at night, or skip breakfast, or eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. You've heard it all, right? But here's the truth, guys. Meal timing is the least important factor in your nutrition. Doesn't matter what your goals are. If your goals are fat loss, muscle building, longevity, health, performance, doesn't matter. Meal timing is the least important factor. Doesn't mean it's not important. It just means it's the least important factor. So there you go. I said it. All the zealots out there, they can clutch their shaker bottles and scream all they want. But the science really backs this up. What you eat, how you eat, and how much you eat are all far more important than the clock on the wall. Look at it this way. If intermittent fasting helps you eat fewer calories and avoid late night junk, cool, rock on. If you like eating in that fashion, but don't fool yourself into thinking it's some sort of metabolic magic trick. You lost weight because you ate less, not because you skipped breakfast. And here's the alpha edge move here, guys. This is what I personally do. We're going to keep it simple. I got 3 tips for you here. Number 1, don't eat or drink calories after dinner. So once I'm done eating my dinner, I don't eat or drink after that. I want to give my digestive system that nightly reset. And let's face it, guys, what most of you are reaching for after dinner when it comes to food or drink, it ain't chicken breast and broccoli. Am I right? It's going to be your bourbon. It's going to be your beer. It's going to be a glass of wine. It's going to be some chips or some ice cream or some cookies. It's not helping you out. So get rid of that after dinner eating and drinking habit. Number 2, I want to start the day with a high protein breakfast. A solid high protein breakfast is going to set the tone for your energy, your focus, and for muscle building. Number 3 tip here, be consistent. Find an eating rhythm that works for your life and stick with it. Don't force feed some crazy, goofy, rigid schedule that makes you feel miserable. That's it. No stopwatch needed, no feeding windows, just common frickin' sense. The bottom line is this: meal timing might fine-tune things a tiny bit, but it's not going to make or break your results. Get the foundation right, and the tip of the pyramid usually takes care of itself. All right, guys, let's bring this nutrition pyramid home. We've climbed all 4 levels from the foundation to the tip. That foundation, again, was what you eat. That's the base. Eat real foods. Prioritize protein. Ditch the processed frankenfood. You don't need it. Number 2, pay attention to how you eat. Slow down, be intentional, treat food as sacred fuel, not background noise. Number 3, how much you eat. Fuel performance, don't starve yourself, know your maintenance calories, and keep that protein high. And then number 4, when you eat. Remember, this is the least important factor. Don't obsess over timing gimmicks. Just keep a consistent rhythm that supports your life. Guys, that's it. Nutrition really can be that simple. And if you ever catch yourself getting sucked into the weeds of diet fads, come back to this pyramid. Build it from the bottom up and you're never going to go wrong. I have found with the hundreds, probably close to 1,000 clients I've worked with now, that when we get those clients to focus on and dial in what they eat and how they eat, guess what? How much they eat typically takes care of itself, and it does it in a lifelong, sustainable, healthy way. All right, let's wrap this up. I want to share one of my all-time favorite quotes. This is a piece of wisdom that strips nutrition down to its bare essence. Absolutely love this. So Greg Glassman, he was the founder of CrossFit way back in the day. He wrote this really short essay called Fitness in 100 Words or something like that. But I've memorized the first line of that because it's one of my favorite pieces of nutrition advice. And it says this: eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch and no sugar. Keep intake to levels that will support exercise but not body fat. Boom. Doesn't get much clearer or simpler than that. That one sentence is going to take you further than any shiny diet trend ever will. All right, guys, now you know the framework, you've got the blueprint, and honestly, that's the easy part. The hard part, the part that separates boys from men, is putting it into practice. Because talk is cheap, guys. Knowing about nutrition is not going to make you the least bit stronger, leaner, or more capable. It's the man who takes action, the man who decides to eat with intention, to fuel his body like it matters. That's the guy that's going to reap the rewards. So let's not leave this as just theory. Let's turn this into action that you can start to take today to start looking, feeling, and performing better. So guys, here's your charge. I want you to eat like a man who gives a damn. Not like a boy chasing convenience, not like a victim grabbing whatever's quick and easy, but like a man who knows his body is his weapon, his temple, and his responsibility. Food is fuel. Food is sacred. And how you eat today will shape who you are tomorrow, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So show up strong, not just for yourself, but for your wife, your kids, your grandkids, your brothers, your mission. Guys, here are your action steps. Simple, clear, doable, starting right now today. Number 1, clean it up. Pick one ultra-processed food that you eat regularly. It could be chips, soda, cookies, whatever it is, and swap it out for a real food alternative. Do that this week. Number 2, prioritize protein. Anchor every single meal and snack around a quality protein source. Think meat, eggs, fish, poultry, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or supplement with a good, high-quality protein powder. Number 3, slow down. No wolfing down your food while you're scrolling your phone. Sit down, chew, taste, treat meals like they matter. Number 4, know your baseline. Track your food for a week. Find your maintenance calories. Stop guessing and start leading. Number 5, respect the clock, but don't worship it. Cut out the late night junk and start your day with protein. All the rest, don't worry about it. That's it. 5 moves that will change your body, your energy, and your life. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these to put into action today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next week, not when life slows down. Today. Stack those wins and watch how fast momentum builds. Because strong men don't just know the path, they walk it. So fuel yourself like a man on a mission. Fuel yourself like an alpha edge man. And remember, you cannot outtrain that bad diet, guys, but you can absolutely eat your way to strength, vitality, and legacy. That's all I got for you this week. So until next time, guys, stay strong. Okay, men, that's our show for this week. Don't forget to download our free guide titled How to Raise Your Testosterone Naturally. You can find the download link in the show notes for this episode on whatever app you're listening to this podcast on. If you've enjoyed today's show, here are 3 ways you can support us. Number 1, share this episode with a friend. Number 2, make sure to like and follow this show, and please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Number 3, give us a follow over at Instagram. We're at Alpha Edge Army. So that's Alpha Edge Army all run together. I really appreciate you men taking the time to listen. And until next week, stay strong.